Coco,
Sandy?
5 minutes. Let it go. Move on.
No, why you got to point at me right away?
I thought you'd pick up the ball and run with it right
No,
now.
all right.
Go ahead. What does that mean to you?
You know what? I don't know anymore. I do, but I don't. It's in a relationship. If it's clearly over, it's over. Let it go and move on. You know, don't get to that creepy stalker status of calling and texting and drive-bys and whatever it may be that you do. But there are situations where things are just a little complicated and you need to work through it. It doesn't necessarily mean to just give up or walk away or let it go and move on. You just have some hurdles to get over if you really want to be with that person.
But that's not letting go and moving on.
Well, no, because you don't want to, because it's brand new. You have a couple things that you need to work through to make it work, to even build, to see if it's going to be a relationship. And which is really weird for me to say, because my viewpoint has always been uncomplicated, knock it off, be straightforward, and if you can't show that you're going to make an effort, then forget it. And I still believe those things, but I'm starting to understand a little bit more on the hurdles that people are having to go through in relationships to start.
And get over it, move on is kind of an end.
Right.
It's also an end point.
So how can you end something that hasn't even really begun yet?
I'm talking about, see, you're thinking of a different point of perspective. I'm thinking let it go, move on, actually, at any point, but typically that is a kind of a closure thing, where you have been in a relationship, and it's time to end it for one reason or another. Either, now, going back, if you've been watching these, I talk about my philosophy, what I have been taught, and I've always been taught, if you love somebody, you have to love them enough to say, if you're going to be, if you're going to be happier over there, then go ahead. I love you that much, and it's still going to hurt. But if you truly love somebody enough, and they, and they feel that they'd be happier with somebody else, someplace else, whatever, you have to give them that opportunity, because, it's all well and nice to have the body, but if the mind's gone, then what's the point? Okay, and that's what I was taught, and then that's the primary issue with marriage. Is marriage seems to be a tool to obligate and control people. Probably shouldn't be, but in today's society, 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, not necessarily, probably more so. But in today's society, it seems to be, I listen to people, I help people, and it seems to be like a control. It's all about control.
Right. And there's a spot for control in a relationship, and that's just a whole other show. Try to follow. There is a section in a relationship as a space where control can be a good thing, but that's a different show. And it's really a matter of are you willing? It's hard for some people to let go and just move on, because of the fact that if you completely let your walls down, your guard down, you've exposed your soul, you've exposed your heart, whatever you want to call it.
People don't do that anymore.
They do, or I think a lot of people want to do it,
but they don't.
And that's where it gets into the honesty issue. It's it's easy to take off your clothes and get naked with somebody. Really getting naked with somebody and being in a true relationship is exposing your heart and your mind and your soul and your emotions, and really letting that person in. That's the difficult part, and people want that. But I think in our society now today, People
don't
are
think
afraid
they-
of
I
it,
don't
and
think they want
they don't
that.
know how to do it
I
anymore.
don't think they want that.
I think they do. I absolutely think they do. I hear it all the time,
I think
both
they
from men
say
and
it,
women.
But they don't. They won't.
They don't know how to do it
They
anymore.
don't, not even that, they're afraid of. They're
Well-
afraid. It's easier not to do it. They say,
Well, sure,
there's a lot of things people say they want, but they, when pushing comes
because
to
they
shoving,
let fear
they-
control them.
They never actually go for it because it's,
Because they're afraid.
right, we're gonna keep going on this, but I forgot to set the timer,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing we're at 5. So I'm Coco,
Sandy?
and we're 5 minutes, we're into overtime.